Let's get it. Pep said our players are moving too much? What does that even mean? Before the match against Crystal Palace, Pep was asked just that. That's all. Seems simple enough. Guardiola shot his squad some bell, though. I'm going to ask this question every week until the end of the season. The one time I will divert is when City play Nottingham Forest on April 27th. Will Man City end the season as a top 5 club? Is Champions League in our future? Their future, our future, our future. Is it? Well, am I going to be watching?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. I feel great about it. I will say we got some great help from Ipswich Town. Very, very proud of them. Uh, Amazing performance. Sucks they couldn't get the win, but taking 2 points off Chelsea, that put us in a really comfortable spot in the table. Level on points with Chelsea. Actually, no, a point ahead of them and a better goal difference. So we control our fate. And that's all you could ask for with 6 matches left. Like this is our run in. It's not for a trophy, but it's for to make it 15 years in a row, I believe, of Champions League, which is huge. And I think the players now are starting to gel. Like I think we lose sight of the fact that there are so many young players in this side. So when you think about Rico, Savio, Doku, Nico O'Reilly, Nico Gonzalez, Marmouche, Kuzanov, all these players have played less than a full, like complete season of football for Pep. Even Doku, right? Like he was in and out last year as a sub, but like you don't these aren't like year-long starters who just know all the patterns and like know everything Pep wants. So in a way, Pep's teaching, but he also doesn't have his full squad to teach with. People are always missing. So I feel like now we're getting into a place where even though Holland is out, everybody else in the attack is there. And I think, that's gonna bode well for us. Tarek, what you think, man?
I think I don't think I've said this before. I think it is more likely that we end up third than it is that we don't get top 5.
Let's go.
Maybe I get proven wrong on that, but I think there's a strong possibility we end up in third place.
Let's go.
We got to handle business each week. You got to take it 1 week at a time, with what a coach would say. But I genuinely, strongly believe that. Yeah, and I'll just leave it there.
Hey,
Boom.
we make it hard over here. I hate it. Eh, don't do it. Hey, and welcome to episode 136. Woohoo! We are the most comprehensive show about Manchester City, covering both the men's and women's game, spanning both sides of the Mason-Dixon line. We are making art over here. Capitalize the A. I am Crunk Chocolate. I'm here with my show bros, Sharpie Charlie, Tarek. How's it going? How you doing? How you feeling?
I am a teacher who is on spring break. I am ecstatic, bro. Life is so good. Day 2 has been amazing. Got a great watch along with you for those CL matches. Saw a little Barca, a little PSG. Yeah, it's been a great day, man.
Yeah. Things have been pretty good.
Oh man, I can't complain about nothing. All's good, man.
Love
Just
that.
glad to be here another week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, just making the shows, all the things. I moved I moved our wrestling podcast and our network over to FanFest as well. So I'm just slowly moving things over there as they get better because I mean it's a recording type of thing and they're growing, so we're seeing it. It's fun over there. We're going to be hosting a WrestleMania watch along for night 1 and 2 possibly. We'll see. It's
When is that?
Saturday and Sunday night. It's
This weekend.
Yeah, it's this weekend.
Nice.
It's WWE's biggest night.
I thought WrestleMania was just like in Indy not too long, like a couple months ago. They have multiple?
Oh no, not WrestleMania. It was probably just a WrestleMania. It's like it's big old thing. It's in Vegas this year.
For some reason, I thought that was WrestleMania that was down there. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no. I mean they treat it all very big nowadays. They signed the Raws. They signed a giant Netflix deal basically. So when Raw comes, they have this giant experience that they bring with them. They TKO, who owns like UFC and the bull riding and all that stuff, they purchased WWE as well. So it's just like become this giant monster of an entertainment company. So it's I don't know. I mean, I do believe it was in Indy. They go to Indy all the time because of Pat McAfee, and they make a huge thing about it. He has like a one-man show and all this other stuff. So hold on, but they were there for a PLE. You are right, but I guess I just go for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Real quick,
You just said they were there for PLE. I don't even know what that means. So yeah, it's fine. It's all good, man.
I just want to say quick shout out. Saw this on LB's Instagram story, reposted from City Extra. Happy 131st birthday, Man City. I'm getting old out here.
Let's go.
We got more episodes than they have years.
Exactly. We hit that mark, baby.
Aging like fine wine.
Catch up.
You are. They had the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis.
Okay, that makes
Okay,
sense.
yeah, I knew it was something big.
No, it is.
Okay.
That is their second biggest show of the year. It basically lets you know who's going to be wrestling in WrestleMania. So yeah, it's the road to WrestleMania is what they call it. Anyway, way too much about wrestling. I apologize, everybody. I'm gonna put that in as like a comment for the timestamp. Crunk talks about wrestling for too long, and then 4 minutes later, go back to football so people can skip through this. I appreciate y'all. Um, before we get into anything at all, what I need you to do right now, if you are watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, show me some love, leave a comment. What did you think of the episode? Maybe retort something one of us said. If you're listening on the Apple Podcast, rate 5 stars, please and thank you. Patreon. Oh, so many most dope people that we're having on very soon. You'll see the posts. No need to bang on, but had a really great chat with Colin today. I could talk about that. Press Switch Blue on X or Twitter, whichever you prefer. It was a very good chat about hooliganism, if that was a part of city's culture, this whole ticketing situation, and how to hold on to who you truly are, because he's been a City fan for decades, respectfully. Um, yeah, super good guy, amazing perspective, who he's worked with and been a part of and seen and knows. It's he's a very dope person to be able to connect with. He's one of those main roads. All right, let's get into this conversation. Pep was asked about Viana because he's here now. Him and Cheeky doing a little tag team duo action. Shout out to WrestleMania this weekend. They're trying to make a smooth transition. Pep was asked about the differences between Cheeky and Viana. And in his first impression of Cheeky, and what else does he expect of him? All right. It's all out there. Now everybody knows. We can move on, and hopefully I don't have to talk much more about Viana, even though the transfer window's coming up, and that means I'm going to have to talk about his moves. But let's make sure it's about his moves, not about him and Pep, because I think it's going to be positive vibes. But I am definitely about to make it about the moves. What is your expectations? Uh, I'm not saying he needs to shake things up or anything, but I like the idea that he's coming from a club that often is a feeder for the big clubs. I like the. I'm not saying he's going to take all of his scouts, but I'm sure he's made some connections and already was looking at some people from Sporting, but was probably told that they were too expensive. And I think he can. That's what City loves to do. They love getting their 40, 50, $60 steals, and that's kind of his mo. Is but in a smaller budget, who are those luxury players that would be for Sporting that could be something we could build into the next future star? Sharpie.
So I want to start with this date. You all remember it well. It was November 5th, 2024. That was the day that Sporting embarrassed City 4-1. We went to Portugal, Champions League, that round of 8 or whatever, or the round, the 8 matches to qualify in group stage. And it was terrible. I think that was the best job interview ever for Hugo because Pep saw the side that he put together. And I believe when he got there, Sporting was not like in doing great. They were like, kind of middling, whatever. And over a few years, few windows, he got them to the point where they embarrassed Man City. Um, and that right there shows his eye for talent, shows the way he scouts, what matters. You look at that style of football. They obviously had Amram as a manager. They were perfectly in sync. So when I think about what he's going to do with City and our budget, a couple things stick out to me. We have 8 players, including Kyle Walker, that are out of contract between 2025 and 2026. And as you know, you want to sell players a year before their contract is up because that's how you get some money back. You can reinvest in the club. So I think those players that are due to leave in 26, which are Ortega, John Stones, Gundo, Ederson, Bernardo, and McAtee, I think most of those players are going to be gone to get some money back so we can reinvest in younger talent. And I think there was a part where he talked about, Viana having his own ideas and, implementing his vision for the club. I don't think it's super far from Pep. I think it's just a matter of like, hey, we might go to some different pockets of places. You see a lot of links with the Bundesliga, which we always do, but he might go deeper into France. Maybe he's still somebody from Serie A. So like, I'm excited for it, and I have full faith that we have a squad that is ready for another run at multiple trophies next year in the years to come.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna just say something about it connected with you pointed out the Sporting match. Pep said before the game that, or no, it was after the match. Sadly, we are miles away from Europe, as in the quality of those teams. He also said that there was a 2-1 loss against Bournemouth early in the season, and that was when he knew the season was gone. That was November 2nd. So a couple of days before yours. So he saw the Sporting situation happening in real time, which is very tough of him, but also shout out for you. Tarek, where were you going? Sorry about
I
that.
was just gonna say, you talked about Hugo Viana coming from Portugal, coming from Sporting, and it is very much a difference between Sporting and City. Sporting, you're trying to find, because you don't have the same finances available to you, you have to find players that are much earlier in their careers and hope that you hit. And then if you hit, chances are you're going to sell that player in a couple years, and that is going to continue to fund what you're doing, um, which is great. But for me, at City, while there should be some amount of young players that we're trying to identify, diamonds in the rough, so on and so forth, right, before they blow up, there's another part of me that says, I want us to go for established stars. It's okay to go thrifting when you have no other choice. when you don't have the money to go to the Gucci store or wherever, right? You got to go where you got to go. Even if you have the money, sometimes you might go thrifting just because. But it's cool to have that money and be able to go shop in those high-end stores, to be able to walk up and down Rodeo Drive, walk in and feel like I belong. I've never had that experience personally. When I walked in, they looked at me kind of crazy, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, City have everything they need to shop at the biggest tables, the highest, biggest brands. That's who we are, and that's who we should be. A mixture of the two. So I don't mind going and looking for the Jumabas, the Victor Hases, and the Kuzanovs of the world, right? Get those players in, especially if we think they're going to develop into these world class or potentially world class, very, very good international class players. Go get them early. But let's not forget to go that we have the ability to go shop at the Verts tables and the Musiala tables. And again, I know these players, some of them are already renewed or whatever, but that's the table we have the ability to walk and talk at that table too. And I don't want us to get away from that.
And to that point, Eric, I think I was talking to Crunk about this on a watch along. There are only about 4 clubs in the world that I feel like we can't pull players from. Those clubs would be Real Madrid, Barca, and Bayern Munich, and PSG. Because you're talking about literally the elite of the elite, right? And then obviously we don't need to go to the Liverpool players and stuff, but like out of other leagues, we don't. Those players are normally when you get there, you're set. Like that's their high level as well. They're on the same plane as us. So every other club in the world is ours to take from. If we want to go to Napoli and get somebody great, if we want to go to Dortmund and get somebody great, we've already done Leipzig, we've done Frankfurt. You pick a Bundesliga side, we're gonna get you if we want you. And that's the attitude. And I think that sweet spot we're looking for in recruits is 21 to 24, because you're saying like, hey, I'm going to catch you before your prime. So if I get you on a 5-year contract at say 21, now when it's time to renew and you are playing for that next contract, a bigger raise, you are now peaking. And that's what happened with this City group, right? They got most of these players in they got them a little later, 24 to 26-ish, but they all grew together and they all excelled together. And that's how you get a treble. So I feel like that's the plan. And when you think about being linked with Verts or Reinders or these early links that have come out, maybe Frimpong, who knows, Palacios, like these are players that are ready to take that next step. We're better to come to than the best club in the Premier League in the last 10 years. And it's everything is set up for us to keep going. That's why the season is a blip. But again, I say it's not the blip that Liverpool had when they had to go to Europa. We will not be on Thursday nights. Like the whole club, Kevin said it, we are doing this to keep the Champions League streak going. And so everything is going to keep it moving.
Let's go. Okay. That's fun. Crystal Palace. This match was a good time. Yeah, I mean, it was a stressful time, and then it was a good time. Starting 11 was Ederson, O'Reilly, Vardial, Diaz, Lewis, Gonzalez, Kovacic, KDB, Gundo, McAtee, and Marmouche. I want to quickly apologize because I thought Pep was done with the Nico O'Reilly experiment just because he hasn't been the most patient. But I'm here. I don't want this to make it sound like it was negative. I just thought that no, Pep would go back to putting Vardial as the left back. I'm happy that he's there next to Diaz because that makes me feel very comfortable. They'd seem like this is probably our next pairing for the future, and everybody else is just going to play behind them.
I think Pep will put Vardial back out left.
Oh, do you?
Eventually, yeah. If everybody's healthy, we know Pep. If everybody's healthy, he's playing.
I mean, I don't hate it. He is very.
He's going to play. And Ake is a wonderful left back. Now, maybe he keeps Vardial inside and then puts Ake at left back. Just super defensive, and he can get forward, but not to the same as Vardial, right? I think unless we get rid of those players, they're going to play. But I think what we've seen is that Vardiol, he came to us as an all-world center back. He deserves to play in the middle. He deserves to play at that left-sided center back. But he has this other ability, and sometimes being that flexible and that, you can just kind of do everything. You kind of, it's easy to move him out left because he can still do that at a high level, whereas he's elite if we let him play in that left center back position. Go ahead, Charlie.
Yeah, man. To follow up to that, the left side of that back line is so wonderfully suited because Nico O'Reilly can go left back to center, right? To center mid, CDM, 8, whatever you want to play, a 6-8. And Vardiol can go center back to left back to really, as we saw last season, a left wing back. So when you have that type of versatility, you got young legs, you got pace and power. If anything, Vardiol has developed his dribbling and his ball handling so much now that as a center back, he's going to hit that Laporte level. It's just a matter of time. It's almost like if Pep would have been given John Stones when John Stones was at Everton at that age. That's the same age he's gotten Vardiol. So now I can really develop you into the way that if you remember those old Barca teams, Mascherano and the big boy PK, right? The way they would be able to move the ball from center back, start breaks, move up into the field. Guardiola's getting that development now. So like everything this season is just like we are going to build these skills so that way we can excel next year. And that's the cool thing when you look at that lineup. Like I don't know, and I'm happy that Kuznetsov, he did his job. He got us through a super rough patch, a lot of matches in a lot of weeks. We needed him. We needed those young legs. He plays center. He played right, and now he can kind of sit back and watch, which is what he's supposed to do at this age in the Premier League. And so it's like, hey, if I got my guys, we're only playing one match a week, right? We got one more midweek match left, but mainly one match a week. Yeah, we can roll out the same 11. We know our best 11 at this point. Let's keep it rolling. Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it at this point.
Facts. Another time where I have a clip set up, and whenever y'all talk about it generally and it fits in nicely, I play it. Pep was asked about Nico O'Reilly playing left back. Can he really just be our left back now? If you can't play every 3 days, are we going to keep you here? It's something you just put that out there. Uh, Pep was also asked about Nico O'Reilly. He's a box-to-box midfielder. Can he continue being a left back? He said, well, he is box-to-box, but he has to do side to side. And he went up and down. And he can do it with the same power. What's the difference, basically? He's saying, who cares? You're just further back. You get forward. You do midfield things. I move you inside. It's all the same thing. It's not that big of a deal. But don't you think we're greater than that? It's Manchester City. We talk about wanting to spend money in the market. We talk about wanting to make a splash on a name. Respectful to Nico O'Reilly. Respect to Fabian Delph and Zinchenko. These are not the names that I expect to be seeing as a Manchester left back next season. Naturally, there's nothing we can do now, injuries, etc. But In August, September.
That's why there's going to be a Cambiaso that comes in, or someone of that help that comes in to play that position. Pep's not going to play him at left back as our primary focus. The kid has shown that he has the ability, the size, everything. He has all the physical tools and the ability to play further up. He just needs time and just to continue to develop his game. I think he will be a midfielder, and quite honestly, I think from everything I'm hearing, he played more as a 10 in the academy. So I mean, he could even not just be box to box; he could, as an 8. But we know Pep has said he could be a 6. We think he can play 10. He can be all of those things. We just had to continue to get him minutes. But no, I don't think he is the long term answer. I don't think it's he just show again, it's one of those things where he's just so good, you can put him out there and he can play well. He can do a job for us. But that's not where his long-term uh, career or his long-term position lies.
I think when you're talking about that left back position in particular, the two players I think about that I want to see that profile is a Teo Hernandez or an Alfonso Davies. And I'll give you a third one, right? And Jedi Robinson, right? If you can get that type of left back that has the ability to race up and down that touch line and really whip those crosses in, because again, he had a lot of legal issues, but those times when Mendy was playing, you saw what that could be. You saw what that position can do when you have a winger that's going to attract attention. And this left back is just going down. You get those overlaps, and those things are just cooking every time. Cutbacks across the 6, balls in the air. Like, it's a very valuable position with the talent that City has in the midfield and the forward line. And I think, like, not saying we have to get Teo Hernandez or Alfonso Davies because it's hard to get those, and Alfonso's locked up and injured. But that type of powerful player truly would be great. And Nico is doing a job for now. His job is to make it till May 25th. Like, get us to the end of the season, help us out when needed, and then we move you back inside because we're bringing in new people. So we are in a great. I'm happy we have him. I'm happy Pep finally let at halftime he kind of ripped off the band-aid and said, go forth, young man. And now we see the fruits of that.
Let's go. Let's see. No, let's go to all the goals. What was my note for it? Okay. 5-2. We know the score. Crystal Palace go up early. Man, these goals, they just felt it was just so silly just watching them swiftly move the ball. And, Richards, City had multiple misses right before each time Crystal Palace scored those 2 goals. It just felt awful. Also, shout out to everyone who joined us from the watch along. Appreciate you, Sharpie Charlie. Kovacic, McAtee, O'Reilly will go to the lineup. I just wanted to generally give the score line so we can just talk about whichever goal in whatever order and any scenario. So we just, chat. Anderson! Oh my gosh, like that. All right. What are we going to do now? I like Ortega, but what are we going to do now? O'Reilly, Vardial, Diaz, Lewis, Gonzalez, he's back. That's good to see. Kovacic, KDB, Gundo, McAtee, Marmouche. So many midfielders. I chatted with Sharpie. I know generally his thoughts on the starting 11. Tarek, I don't know what you were doing, but when the lineup first popped up, how were you emotionally, and were you able to hide it from the people you were around?
This was an early morning game, so
Forgot about that. Oh god, I forgot.
yeah. So I was getting ready to get on the highway because I had to go to Chicago, but um again, was it what I was hoping for? No, it wasn't. And I feel like I say that every week, and Pep does what he does, and we either get points or we don't. And in this case, we ended up getting points, so it's like can't really argue with it. But If this were basketball, I would say just because a shot goes in doesn't mean it's a good shot. Sometimes Steph Curry can shoot something that's a good shot for him, but the next person shooting that is not a good shot. But anyway, even if it goes in, but so just because we got the points doesn't mean that this was a good lineup. But I don't want to argue with it because I'm just happy we got points and we scored goals. We scored a lot of goals for that matter. We got 5. So why am I going to argue with Pep? But no, when I first saw it, and then when I saw 2 goals go in, I was a little bit ticked. Yeah. I was.
And then, like, for those that didn't hear my take on the watch along, I'm really big on like playing wingers as wingers. So when I saw McAtee, I was like, with Doku and Savinho healthy, right? Like Foden's out, okay, cool. Harlan's out. Let's step up and bring in our wingers. And so it does give you more questions than answers. Um, Especially when you see only one person that has any pace in that front group other than Marmoush, right? It's just like, wait, who is providing the width? How are we doing this? Um, but this is where even in the moment, even when the goals went in, but if you watch how we played in those first 20 minutes, I was like, oh, Pep figured this out. He knows Crystal Palace. Like he literally cut them up every time. Did we finish in the first 20 or the first 30 minutes? No. But the plan was executed. Like he understood the patterns needed. He talks about positioning, right? Like in that clip, it's about where you make the passes. It's about us versus them. It's not about power and speed. It's about like truly just making the right passes and the right plays and seeing the seeing the pass before you get the ball. And once you start making those rhythms and the people have to run, nobody likes to run on defense. Nobody wants to sit on defense for 65, 70% of the match. It wears you down. Even within a half. Once you get past that 20-minute mark, and of course, we know like what happens, and they had a chance to get 3-0, but you saw it just the momentum swung. So unhappy with the lineup in the front 4, but once I saw what the vision was, I was like, oh, this is why he did it. You need as many technical players on the pitch as possible to break Palace down.
Yeah, it's like a boxing match, and we got hit square in the nose right from the beginning, and we got stunned. Eyes was watering, probably went down to one knee, was almost about to buckle. And then the ref gave us a little time to get ourselves together, got a reprieve off of that 3rd goal, and then it was like, okay, keep our hands up and let's go. Let's whatever. So yeah, it just sucks to go down.
Yeah.
Period. Let alone go down 2 and maybe even go down 3. It's just like, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
But we showed the resiliency to be able to fight back. And in many ways, that was the old City, and we haven't seen that in a long time.
It was led by KDB, who looked like old KDB for moments. He played 90 minutes ever since the international duty, where I believe he played most of the matches in both of those games, which a lot of people were like, what is happening? Why would you do that? And it seemed to be what he needed. He talked about him being able to play pain-free, and that's what it looked like. I mean, watching him in those watch-alongs, I always talked about how he always looked pretty stiff. I've played the parts where he has this weird problem in his hips that he was just, his body was hurting, but he was out there playing, and honestly, the whole thing was he just has to play through it. And we're here. KDB's back. Is KDB back? For like 6 weeks?
Yeah, he's back for the season. Yeah, he's going to finish out his time at the Etihad on a high. No better time than the present to get there and be healthy. And I think because he is at that place and we are playing these matches, on the weekend, I think you see him in the starting lineup unless he gets hurt again, right? Like I think he's out there because what he brings, it's just that gravity, right? I think you mentioned like Steph Curry earlier, Terry. When you think about Steph Curry, so much of his power is what he does off the ball. It's where the defense always has to know where he is. Kevin, same thing. You're worried about him dropping back, getting the ball in space. Or even when he has the ball, God knows you're like, oh my God, I got to close him down. So the space he provides everybody else the balls he can whip in when he's fully healthy now with that hip. We saw the free kick after being down, and like just the emotion, right? Like you saw the jumps, the joy, the celebrations. Like, yeah, we're gonna go. Like we are moving. We are not losing this match to Crystal Palace. And I think that attitude and wanting to end his time on the high that we can this season, which is top five, I think we got the perfect storm for KDB to shine.
Uh, the question is KDB back? And I guess it depends on what do you mean by back, because I'm a fan of Miami Hurricanes. We had periods of insane dominance. We had a team that was or is considered by many to be the best college football team of all time. We went out, we won, I think, 10 games this season. And if you ask me, are we back? I would say no. We had a really good season and much better season than we've had in the past, but I don't think we're back because of the levels that we were playing at before. We're not back at that level. We're back at the top table. We're in those conversations. We're in the college football playoffs. Great. So if you ask me about KDB, is he back? Um, I don't think he's going to be able to do this every single match, play 90 minutes for the rest of the season. That's just not realistic at his advanced age as someone who's older than him. But as his advanced age is just not realistic. But can he still have those moments where he is brilliant, where he is the best player on the pitch? Absolutely. And I think we have to be careful that, same thing with Gundo, same thing with whoever else. Just because they had a good game doesn't mean you run them in the ground and say, okay, now I got to play them every minute of every match. I think you still have to give him rest, mix up, come bringing him off the bench, bringing him as a starter. Maybe he starts more matches than he does come off the bench between now and the rest of the season. But I still think you got to balance his minutes. And I think if you do that, we can still get the best out of him. If you run him in the ground, and again, maybe it's not an issue because we only play one match a week. So maybe that's enough time off to be good to go each week. So maybe I'm wrong, but I just, it'll be hard for him to be at that level every match for the rest of the season. Cause that was vintage KDB.
Vintage KDB. Might as well play Pep talking about KDB. We know he won, so there's a little excerpt where he just kind of talks about the team. There's still plenty of goals and players to talk about. Let's go. Okay. So many goals to choose from, so little time. Which one was a favorite of yours and why? Simple enough. Shabby.
If I had to pick a favorite, I'm gonna pick the one that ended up being the game winner, which was Kovacic's goal. And just because like it came right after the break, I think it took us like something like 50, like a minute and some change, right? Like it was in the 47th minute. Um, you just saw like City cut them up. You could tell like at halftime, they're like, okay, we got the second, Marmoush's beautiful poach, and now it's time to go at their heads. And like once that happened, I was like, oh, we're winning this match. But I didn't know when the third was coming, but once it came in 2 minutes into the second half, I was like, oh, this is beautiful. And the finish, right? The pass from, I believe it was KDB who set him up, right? That was his assist. Moved it across, and Kova took it first time. And sliding as he did, it helped him get more power on it, I think, to get it across the face of the goal. And Dean Henderson didn't have a chance. So I think Nico started the move, right? He ran up on the left side, gets it to Kev. Kev right away gets it to the middle of the box. Kova first time hits it, and he's done that for us at least 4 or 5 times this season. His shooting has definitely improved since last year, and so it was great to see that team goal happen so quickly. And Kova deserved that. So that's my favorite goal. What about you, Terry?
I'm a dad. I don't pick between my kids. I love them all equally. I love them all the same. I love all 5 of these goals. Uh, but I'm I'm super glad that Nico O'Reilly got his goal. That did my heart so well, so good. Um, but that one, and I guess the McAtee goal, just because I love Ederson getting assists, man. It's like, it wasn't necessarily does McAtee have the uh, Riyad Mahrez first touch? No, but he did a really good job to bring the ball under control, get past the defender, and then had the composure to go around the keeper instead of rushing and snatching at it. He has that composure, gets around the keeper, scores the goal. Um, so I'll go with both of them. But again, any goal we score is good because I know how sometimes it feels difficult to score
I
them
like how you
at
picked
times this season.
twin
So
goals.
I'll take all the goals, all the ways, in any way that we can get them.
The cool thing about that McAtee goal was that it came after he had literally like dropped the ball with like 2 chances, right? He had that free header in the middle, a free header, the one you set up on a training pitch to practice heading. He was unmarked and he missed it. And then he had a cutback opportunity. He skied it. But that third time, they say third time's a charm. He made all the moves necessary. He didn't lose faith in himself, and that finish was so cool. And the backflip, my God, that's definitely the best celly of the day. The backflip, I did not know he
Bro,
had that in
I
his
did
locker,
not
bro.
either.
That was
I was
crazy.
just like,
Yeah,
oh my
that
god.
was impressive. That was impressive.
You are an athlete. Anytime you can do a backflip off 2 steps, you are an athlete, my boy. Raise that price, dog. Raise that price tag. You about to kill Bundesliga next year. I love you. Um,
And that's
but
the thing, right? Because Pep, it's like, is Pep playing him, giving him minutes to
oh
put him in the
yes,
shop
oh
window?
yes.
Because if you go out there and you do well, it just takes the price up a little bit more. Takes
Mhm.
the price up a
Yeah.
little bit more. We can just,
Or takes the price down of Verts. That's
yeah,
all we need. We need a trade.
it makes Bayer Leverkusen like, you know what? We like this kid. He's got potential. And I
Yeah.
genuinely do think he's got a ton of
He
potential,
does.
and
Oh, for
going
sure.
someplace where he can kind of be the man to a certain extent, maybe not the only person, because again, they got Ekitike and others at Leverkusen, but to really be able to kind of, this is going to be my team, I think he'll thrive. And we will he have the same purple patch that Cole Palmer had? I don't know, but I think he can build a career that he has a really solid, high level uh, career. So yeah, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for what it means potentially for us. So it's a win-win all around.
Big money. And I'd be remiss if we didn't mention the free kick from Kev that started it all, right? Like
Oh yeah,
the way he set that up in between the 2 walls and like totally wrong footed Henderson. Henderson thought he was going around to the right, well, to his left, Kevin's right, to like curl it. And Kev was like, no, I got you. I'm going to your right. And most people don't take that shot. You always see people bend it kind of on their natural foot, right? And so, because it was more to the right of the goal, so it's like go top bends, kind of like Declan Rice did. He was like, no. And I was talking shit. Before it started, I was like, Declan Rice ain't walking through that door. Kev ain't gonna make it happen. And it's on record, and I can eat my words gratefully. Like, I love when I'm wrong and City prospers. That's the part about being a supporter, right? And to be honest, most people didn't think that was going in, if you want to give us all true serum. We were like, okay, he'll kick it. We probably won't. A lot of people, not everybody. You really thought it was going in?
Well, I was I want to say I
Did you think it was going in?
I was like, he's going to take it. If this is the Kevin of old, I said it in the video. If this is the Kevin that we think he is, he should be. It should go in, and I thought he should
He
probably take
delivered.
it. I like. Did I think he was actually gonna make it? No, but I definitely did think that he was going to take it. It is,
Of course.
Because it was him and Marmouche lined up over it, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
See, I thought there was a chance Marmouche might take it.
And that's what. And
But again,
yeah.
KDB is KDB, so it's like pulling rank. He's the captain.
Yeah.
I think that was the thing that stood out to me the most. It was, this is a true captain's performance.
Mhm.
And the difference, and this is no shade, truly no shade to Kyle Walker, but the difference is Kev is a captain who can be on the ball. It's hard to, we're going to grab the game by the scruff of the neck when you're a defender, when you're a center back, like, Company, a la Company, or when you're the right back, like Kyle Walker. It's a little bit easier when you're a Gundo or a Fernandinho or De Bruyne, because you can be on the ball. You can give me the ball, let me go make play. And that's really what he did. Now, again, maybe, some people say, well, it's the tactics and everything was going before. It wasn't necessarily just individual brilliance. To me, it felt like individual brilliance. It felt like, we have not done what we need to do. Give me the ball, get out my way. I refused. I refuse to let us lose. That's kind of how it felt to me. Watching last weekend.
Yeah. If you,
And it's like,
And I
put the
love
team
it.
on my back.
yeah, and if you leave the keeper rooted, that's a sign that it was a good kick.
The question though is, should he have been over that direction more? Because you had your wall set up to kind of prevent the ball going on that side. Was it a poor play by whatever the keeper was?
Dean Henderson.
Dean Henderson.
I mean, it is.
It might have been.
I don't care either way. At the end of the day, the ball went in the back of the net. That's all I really care about. But there are people who have said, "Oh, he should have done better." Boom, boom. I don't know. I'm just glad it went in.
I think when you take those free kicks, right, keepers can't. It's hard to shade to one side because it literally is a two-way go, right? It can hit either side, so you have to stay in the middle. And like he just guessed the wrong way. You could tell he was thinking it was going to his left. Kev said, "I got you, bitch," and then it went to the right, and it hit the post. I love when goals hit the post. That's such a specific, precise hit. So it even makes it feel. I think it happened to us earlier. I was like, if it hits the post, it's really hard to stop. It's so far to the right or to the to the outside. But before we get off the goals, man, we got to talk about my boy Oliver Glasner giving us a big lift because when that man subbed off Mateta at halftime,
Bro,
I was like, wait,
we
I
were
thought
so
he had took off Kamada, who was on a yellow card,
yeah.
and then they showed him my man's on a bench. I was like, wait, Mateta not up here? Boy, what'd he do? Is he hurt? And
No
they were like, no, he just
tactics.
made a change. That's a tactic? Come on, Austria. You let your country down on that one, my boy. I appreciate all the help we can get. Because, boy, you messed up. Oh, you took away one less runner on the break to put in Will Hughes, who looks 43, but he's really like 29. So, like he inspires no
we
fear.
legit just automatically assumed it was Kamada and moved on. Like 1,000%. Didn't look it up on FotMob. Didn't care what popped up on the screen. We were just like, that makes sense. He has a yellow. City here balling. Like, take him off. Mateta is sitting there with that little mustache. It's like, look at his dumb ass. Respect though, because he
On you, boss.
he is fast.
And then Glasner admits to making a mistake. Like, I got it wrong.
My gosh.
And then he talked shit to Pep. Like, hey, if we see you again and you play that same tactics, we'll figure it out. Well, no, stupid. We're not going to do the same thing. Duh. Y'all got to beat Aston Villa, man. Get out my face.
Like, you talking about...
Enjoy
I hope
12th place, my boy.
I hope that we get a response from them in their next game, because I think they play Newcastle next.
Lord knows they play tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow? So you know what? You guys don't like it, go out there and do your thing.
Help us out. Get a draw. All I want is a draw. I don't need you to win. Just take 2 points off.
Yeah.
That's it.
That'll show us. Please do, Crystal Palace. Goodness gracious.
Get your lick back against our oil brothers.
Right?
Take them down.
Anything else? Okay, Nico Gonzalez, he got another yellow, which is what I warned everyone. He does love getting a yellow. It's because he, at his previous club, he had to be that first line of defense, or else it was going to be a track meet. He doesn't really need to do that at this club anymore. Pep,
But he took that yellow like when we were down to, was it pretty early, wasn't it? Like weren't we down 2-0 and they were
Right
still
before halftime. We had just made it
we had
2-2.
just
It
tied it
was
up.
right
Okay.
after the Mamushko. He stopped it because he was like, "Yo, I don't want to give up the third goal
Yeah.
before half."
I don't. It
I'm
wasn't
saying
too deep.
I'm not mad at him because then he played the rest of the half
Mhm.
because he played the whole game. So he played the rest of that half plus the second half with the yellow card, did not pick it up. So I think he's at least in that match he showed that I can play on a yellow, but also I know when I need to pick one up. And that I think as a sometimes, and I used to tell my kid this, you know what? Sometimes it's not bad to pick up a yellow card. Sometimes a
Mm-hmm.
yellow is better than a goal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
You got one to use. You got to use
Yeah.
it. Yeah. And I
Now,
will say, like,
maybe he
oh,
need
go
to
ahead.
work with. He just needs to work with Fernandinho
I
to be able to
know
make those
he's
fouls
a part of the.
without getting the picking up the yellow. How to do those tactical fouls. But I'll take that over letting them run and get another one.
Yeah, I was really happy that Pep used the 4 outfield subs after Edison went out, right? We saw Bob get on, and we saw what he could do in that little bit of time. Savinho, Doku, and Grealish. I will say, like, the Ederson injury, we can overcome it, but it limits the ability to do things like the McAtee goal, right? You can't hit that. The man had 4. Hey, he has 4 assists in one Premier League season. Like just that season alone will be the tie for third all time for goalkeepers just this season. And so he's really in his bag. And so like knowing that Ortega can kick it deep, but he won't kick it as accurately. He won't pinpoint it to a
And I
runner.
don't think he has the same strength in his leg that Ederson.
For sure.
Ederson booms that mug. I don't think Ortega
It's
can do that.
wild.
Yeah, yeah, and
Nah.
he can't do that.
Ortega gets it like slightly past the halfway line. Ederson put that McAtee ball when it finally dropped. It was really close. It was in the final third. Like
Yeah,
it was there. So do I think now, like seeing him go down, and that might be the last kick we see from Edison, y'all. Like groins are really interesting. This is a recurring injury. I hope he comes back like Holland by the last match, right? I would love to just see everybody there, like Stones, Akanji, Aki. I want everybody back for that final match. But if we don't see another Ederson kick in a City jersey, I think he goes down as a top 5 keeper in Premier League history. Especially when you talk about winning 6 Premier League titles as the number 1 keeper, being a treble keeper, that save in the CL final, the assist record. Like he will be more appreciated after he's done than while he's playing. Because people always go at him. He's Brazil's number 2 to Allison. But everything he does in England, top tier. And if that's the last kick, man, it's gonna hurt.
What? Where did this twist come from? What?
Because we had to talk about the match to wrap it up.
I
If the
mean,
injury was real,
But his
it is
last
real.
kick? What?
I mean,
it
it
could
might
be.
be.
Groins are hard. It got a month left. We got 6, 7 weeks left in the season. Like
I mean,
6 weeks left.
Okay,
we
so
all
you just
hope
mean
it's
this
not.
season? Are you talking about like?
I mean,
You think
he's
he's
probably
leaving this
gone.
summer?
Let's just be.
Both.
He's gone.
It could
He's
be
gone.
both. Yeah, we got to get money for him. His contract's up next year.
He's
They
going to
aren't going to
Saudi.
resign a 31-year-old keeper. Yeah, Saudi's on the road. Saudi's coming. You got to prepare your spirit for that. Now, I would
Yeah,
love to keep him, let Ortega go. You bring in a young keeper from Spain, and then you say, okay, like
Yeah,
you are the succession
I don't
plan.
want that.
But I want it, and I also don't expect it.
yeah. I would
You
be
know,
highly surprised, pleasantly, if Ederson stays. I think we lose both keepers. To be honest, I think we're gonna
I
go
think
out
we
and
Scott
find.
Carson too. I think that spot is done.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Yeah, it's a whole new goalkeeper room on the way. It's like when I want new Jordans when I was growing up for my mom, but it wasn't the right time, and I just couldn't get them. I wanted them. I thought I had a chance, but I knew like, nah, she got bills to pay. We got bills to pay. Time to get some money back. Take that 35, 40 million from Saudi. Like I didn't want to see Mahrez leave last year, but it made perfect sense, right? Like this is the way, as the Mandalorian says.
We got bills to pay. Oh my gosh, I love it. Everton, Manchester City's last match at Goodison Park. Everton sit 13th. Somehow they stole 3 points from Forest, which appreciate y'all. Before their win against Forest, the Toffees haven't won a match since February 15th. We know they can give anyone a run for their money. It's at home. Goodison Park. Bye-bye. We are backing our boys to take 3 points back to Manchester, right? Right? Right?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, we haven't lost to
Yes.
Everton since. I'm looking on FOTMOB. I'm in 2020 now. I'm in 2019 now. I'm in 2018. It's been a long time, okay? The 4-0 happened in January 15th of 2017. That's the last time Everton beat us. They had a draw a couple times, but I think they aren't playing great football. It's moist football. It's competitive. It's active, but now it is a smaller pitch at Goodison, and that always kills us. I remember specifically the match last year. I believe it was Bernardo Silva. We won 1-0 at Goodison because I was home for my grandma's birthday at the casino. Yeah, that was a tight match. It's always a tight match when you shrink the pitch. I can't wait for them to leave that little shit. But I think we win. I'll say 3-1
Are they not playing on the new? Are they still playing at Goodison?
the whole season. Yeah, until next year is when they move.
Oh, for some reason I thought they were
So
moving already. Interesting.
yeah, these are all I think the stadium's ready,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're finishing out the
Yeah,
season
they've
here.
been doing a
and
lot
they're
of
talking about keeping it for the women.
they've been doing a lot of like public events and introduction and showing off their food. I've been seeing random posts about their new stadium. Well,
Yeah.
they're doing all the connecting with the community things right now.
Yeah, their
Oh, it's the
last
USA
5.
game. That's nice.
Their last 5 matches, of course, they got the 1-0 over Nottingham. They had a 1-1 with Arsenal. 1-0 loss to Liverpool. 1-1 with West Ham. 1-1 with Wolves. They don't give up a lot of goals.
They don't score either.
But they're not gonna run off 2-3 goals against us either. So we just have to be solid at the back and take our chances, and we should be fine.
What's your score?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's likely to be 1-0, but I'm gonna say 2-1 us, just because I still don't have a whole bunch of confidence in us not keeping a clean sheet. So I'll say 2-1.
Wrong, what you got, bro?
Oh, okay. I looked back at that 4-0 loss to Everton back in 2017. I'm not gonna lie, this team by City is an old, sad team, and this Everton team, this was when they had those ballers, bro. Claudio Bravo,
Lukaku there?
yeah, Lukaku, Morales, Tom Davies, Gareth Barry, Ross Barkley, Mason Holgate, like Leighton Baines. This was like when they were that was when they were cooking. So
Leighton
much
Baines
promise.
was nice. I liked him when I first started watching.
I was gonna say so much promise, so much promise. And yeah, City had Claudio Bravo, Gail Clichy, and how did I say that? Clichy and Bakary Sagna, John Stones, fresh on, but old ass the general who is still out there playing football somehow. Zabaleta as our holding midfielder. And it was Sterling, Yaya Toure, David Silva, Aguero, and KDB both played like second strikers together. It was wild. Pep was just.
What you got? What's your prediction?
I feel like this. You would think that this is a team that you would have to play Doku, but I don't know anymore. We're gonna win.
Do we win?
Yeah,
You
we
think
win.
we win?
Yeah, we win for sure.
Take a guess, man. Have some fun. Nobody's pressuring you to get it right.
See, the
Just
old
have some
crunk
fun.
would have been like, "Oh, we're gonna hit him for 6."
They don't
man,
they don't have that in
crunk go?
they don't have
Where
that
did
in
that crunk
them.
go?
They did this to me.
He can't even give us
They
2,
did
dog.
this to me.
We just hit them for 5. We can't even get a 2 or 3. Where did that crunk go?
You may not
even be crunk chocolate no more. Are you still crunk?
I need City to do some more goal scoring, and then I'll get that. I want to, but I'm tired of being like, 6, and then barely won.
Can we get 2? Can we get 2?
Yes, we should. We should. Okay, 3-1. I won a 3-1. We should.
There we go. Let's
We
get
should
it, boy.
3-1.
You got Bon Jovi Crunk over here living on a prayer.
What did you say your score was, Charlie?
I said 3-1 too.
3-1.
So we got 3-1, 3-1, and 2-1 from you.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna do.
Damn, we got to talk about this team. A real injured team. Where's that picture of the injured 11? That's what I want to find.
Oh. CITY. 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 Baby Blue Baddies. This is our segment about Manchester City Women's Football Club. Yeah. We were talking about the Women's Europa League. Basically, the loser of the UWCL play-in game plays in the Europa. Makes sense.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it makes sense, but just like now that's more reason for us to try to get in that spot. But before we start talking about the match and getting all sad, I want to thank Holloway for not only joining me for Breaking Bread, the match preview, she joined us for the watch along. It was a terrible match.
Denmark finest.
Shout out to Denmark. Terrible match to try to enjoy, but hilarious. Let us throw all sorts of football and non-football questions their way. Topics, pronunciation of countries.
Hoiberg.
Yeah. It was. We filled the space where normally would be sadness. Oh, I appreciate that so much. Bunny isn't imminently ready. That was Cushing's choice of words. However, Greenwood and Hemp are on the grass. Knack and Fugino, they're training. Cushing was hopeful in the match. In the presser, he pointed out that hey, we beat the champions elect in Joy Stadium. Anything is possible. What worried me the most was the fact that United, that defense, they've only allowed 9 goals in this season in the WSL. In comparison, Chelsea, they've allowed 13, Arsenal 14, Man City 23. One player he mentioned as a playmaker wasn't even in the roster. And then another one of the players that he mentioned as those playmakers hurt themselves 27 minutes. Well, not hurt themselves. It sounds like they were injured in the 27th minute. This club, the situation. Go back to the photo Sharpie showed us where all of our amazing players, or notably Bunny, Fugino, Mac, Roard, Miedema, Greenwood, Hemp, just full of sorrow. Look at Bunny back there by herself.
Terry, you see this, bro? You see this, Terry?
Yeah. It's like basically the whole team.
It's including
it's
the
a
keeper.
Whole team.
It's the starting 11.
There
like
is
that is
there
wild.
Is a keeper there.
And the unfortunate part is it is very similar to the men's side, and it makes you question: do we need to go get? I mean, because we've always had what we felt was a really strong medical staff that kept our players. We had injuries, but nothing severe. We were able to keep these players healthy. Now we're getting hit on all sides. It's like, what changed? But go ahead. I don't want to take away from the conversation.
No, you're fine.
That's a great question, bro. It's the real question. I mean, I feel like the mile some of these injuries are literally like just spot injuries, right? And some of them don't happen under City's watch. A lot of times there are players coming back, especially on the women's side, from international break, like Jill Roy. That was not out there, bro. Like we had no idea she was injured until we saw like, oh, she's not on the team sheet. Like it was just, and the way they don't, I guess the way there's a lack of coverage from journalists, you don't get all the info you get on the men's team. Like I know everything. If I go on City Extra at 7 a.m., I'm gonna hear everything that's going on, who's in training, whatever, whatever. And I just saw like on the City Extra page for the women, oh, Fowler missed training today, but we don't know what the level of her injury is. When you go on the men's side, you know by now, especially 3 days after a match, you're like, oh, sadly, like that's ACL or that's whatever. And so I just think that the lack of transparency or availability of injury information hurts the most on the women's side. Um, just as a fan, like you just want to know what the level is. And you hope to see players like, oh, Rebecca Knack's back. Great. But like it's hard to go into a match when you see that picture, you see the lineup, and then as Crunk said, Fowler gets hurt. Like we only could do so much. It's a miracle we didn't give up more than two. Right?
Honestly,
Like J.R. Keating saved us because it could have been 6,
seriously,
honestly.
seriously. And it sounds so negative, but like Billy Murphy, she really tried her best, but Riviere like locked her down. Like that was just she just played. I think she played just overall an amazing match. Letitia, that tackle, the elbow that you threw at the end of the match, that was fucked up and very frustrating, especially because you had the match locked down, you had the lead. There was no reason for you to just run into the back of it was Carolyn, I believe, for that. Like that, it was excessive and not needed. Carolyn just out there trying her best. Everybody was just out there trying their best, honestly. It's a tough year, just super proud for them, like the players who are still on this pitch, trying the hardest, doing the best. So many of our young players getting way more minutes than they could ever imagine. Some of our players,
Slow
mo, some of our Lazelle,
mo.
Billy Murphy, like these players. I'm sure Carolyn probably didn't think that she was going to be playing this many minutes so early on. Like Jess Park, I know she needed some rest. Coombs, luckily, she's back, but Fowler, because of all these other injuries, she's had to play so much. This was felt bound to happen. It was, like you said, on the men's match when a team get it's so thin. And shout out to Gareth again. I'll say it. He like a whole month before he was fired, he was just talking about, hey yo, this roster is small. We can't continue in all these competitions. Our roster is small. And maybe that was just something he was beefing about with people with the office.
I believe I saw a tweet that said, or post on Blue Sky that said, the City women and Chelsea women have played like 13 matches since February, and the next closest team is like between 7 and 9, which is like Arsenal, right? Because they're in UWCL. So it's just like when you look at what we did in that gauntlet against Chelsea in March, on top of like, oh, we got the FA Cup like this one, it's just a lot of matches, and we don't have the depth of talent. It's really hard to replace 5 injured players in the outfield, but to try to replace 10, and honestly, we were wrong, Crunk. Yamashita was on the bench, so there was no keeper in that picture. You're looking at 11 outfield players. Because that's why on our bench, I don't know if you saw it, Tarek, we only had 4 possible outfield subs. It was 2 keepers and 4 outfield players. 3 were defenders. Like it was Rico Lewis' little baby sister was on the bench, like,
Yes.
and she wasn't in the match.
Oh, that's
It
love.
was,
Did she get in?
No.
nah. Can't put in that baptism by fire, Lord knows.
Yeah.
But it's just hard out here, man. Like, and that's why to only lose 2-0, that's the definition of a more victory. Like once Fowler went down with that injury, you got the shock of that, looking at your bench, like, damn, all of these players now married. You're still trying to do something, but Murphy on the wing going 1v1, she's not Lauren Hemp. You know, like Casper had to move up to right wing because Fowler get hurt. You move Carolyn to the middle, which locks her up. And then Weinreuther comes in. She's trying, but she's not Casper at right back. It's just like a mismatch of people. I just hope that we can win the matches we're supposed to win at the end of the season. Like we should beat Everton regardless, hopefully. But again, it's going to be really hard when your options are very limited. Like we don't know who's going to play this weekend.
So
It's really sad.
We lost to Everton earlier this season, 2-1.
That did happen.
That was the same day of the Manchester derby, the loss to Amarim when Nunes had that penal. So just all in all, it was bad. That was when I drove to Chicago to do a watch along in Chicago with the trophy Man City hosted. Shout out to Jake, a 50+ donor. He came and hung out with me and watched the City match while I freaked the fuck out and annoyed him. There were many times where I just grabbed him and started shaking him because I was stressed out. Well, thank you for being my that
emotional support friend.
But the final 10 minutes, that was when City still had the lead, but I walked away and paced in a corner because I felt it. It was like, I gotta get up. Something bad is about to happen, and I need space to melt down in front of 300 people. Post match, Cushing said this. I don't, and I know it's the truth, but the players understand that wasn't good enough. We as fans know that wasn't good enough. We just talked about where the players are and who's on the pitch. I feel like
it wasn't lack of effort to me. Like they ran, they fought.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you're not talented enough, and United with the best defense in the league coming into a win or go home situation against a injured squad, it was already going to be hard to score one goal. Like like getting one would have been a win. And so yeah, like I get what he has to say as the manager. You want to challenge the players and get them to play better, but I'm not blaming Gracie Pryor and Weinwarter and Lily Murphy for not being the world class players that they're backing up. Like I can't blame them for that.
And
like that's not their fault.
Tullis Joyce made some amazing saves as well.
Double save was crazy.
Yeah.
South America.
Right? Hopefully
we got a black keeper, baby.
Yes,
let's go.
Right? Oh man.
First time since the 90s.
And that's so frustrating because she's making these saves and I'm happy because every single time she's showing out, I go, all right, Emma. But
it's her.
But also she's stopping the players I root for from scoring. So it was a very complex set of emotions felt.
And he's not here because he's not feeling well. But shouts to Tom, who has called her the best keeper in England, men or women's. And we saw some of that in that match. It was a masterclass because we had chances, but she let nothing through because she could have let it go by, and they win 2-1, but kept that clean sheet when the defense broke down and we were going at it. And I hope they beat Chelsea. I don't want Chelsea to even have a hopes of a quad or a trouble. They need to lose. I'm tired of these hoes. Sorry, my apologies. Tired of these blue women. They don't need to win anymore. I'm done.
And naturally, he meant just like everybody can be hoes. It's an open word, especially in our culture. Hopefully, you know type of vibes. I was gonna call myself a black Goldilocks, a niggalocks. And I was like, no, I'm not. But I said it anyway.
That's funny. That's a good one, bro.
You.
That is for their keeper, who is a product of the youth. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Was it Fallon?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Thomas
yeah,
Joyce,
yeah.
PT,
She
PCJ.
from the U. So, like you talking about having mixed emotions. I'm all for anybody from the U thriving and doing well. Being the keeper for the U.S. Women's national team, awesome. Keeping out goals for City, that sucks.
Does.
So it's a little torn there, but kudos to her.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Do we beat Everton, Crump?
That's what I was gonna ask. I think a draw. I think it's gonna be a draw.
Yeah, draw feels right because no Fowler. And again, at this point of recording, it is Tuesday night, April 15th. We don't know what people are available. Like, we don't know if Bunny's coming back. We don't know if
Roar.
Pimp is finally ready.
Yeah, we don't know anything about
If Roar
Roar.
is back,
Yeah.
we have no idea about the lineup at this point. So we're picking, we're saying this blind people. By the time you hear this, and things could definitely change. But I think we at least come out with a point. And that for the squad we have and the defense, not even the defense, yeah, the defense we have, because Pryor's out there and Lord knows, bless her heart, she's not ready. Um, it, Everton's not the attacking threat United is. Are we playing on the road? No, we're back at the Joy, right?
Sorry.
Yeah, this match is at the
Yep.
Joy
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yep. Sunday morning.
Yep.
I think we got a chance. I'm on Easter Sunday. I think we do it. I'm gonna say it.
Yep.
We win. We win 1-0. There we go.
Uh, you talking about how they don't update us about player availability. It makes me flash back to all the times that very frustrated for the first time I feel like he's phrased it this way. Nick Cushing was like, you could tell by our social media who's gonna play or who's all right. And he just always like, even when he's talking about the players, you saw it on social media. Every week he's like, you see it on social media? That's how you know. Social media. Social media. Is he being kept out? Does he not even know who's really like healthy and available? Like, and just the way that he phrases it, it's interesting. Social media. You'll know just like I will through social media. Social media. Social media.
Well, that's that. Best of luck, baby blue baddies.
Best of luck. Oh, that is everything. I want to go through some of these guests that we have coming up. I had Press Switch Blue today. We have Aaron West joining us tomorrow night. The homie Braden, Everton fan, is going to be joining us. Joyce, aka Swifty Stones. She's the Man City representative on Gold Diggers. I've had her show host Lauren, who's a Tottenham fan from Gold Diggers, on to talk for a match preview. Well, that's good that we're connecting with Gold Diggers. They do some most dope things over there. Asan Naeem's coming on. Speaking of 9320, Bailey Wynn's coming on. We got Michael Reed. He's a can't read my handwriting. He is a football data editor for Opta Joe. He covers Liverpool. He's a very fun dude to talk about. Speaking of people who cover Manchester City, we had Joe Bray on earlier this month. I have Jack Gone next week, and I also have Simon Bajkowski. We have She Scores Bangers, Miriam Karabi's coming on. Just look at these people. They're just going to come, hang out. We talk about football that fits each of these people. Varying count. Yes, we are Manchester City, but we love ball. We like conversating about the sport, the cultures, getting to know more. It's great over here. Subscribe to our Patreon. Sharpie, Tarek, we'll start with you. Let people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Thursday nights in the lit stream.
Let's go.
Here on YouTube.
Let's go.
Well, if you're watching on YouTube, then it's here on YouTube. But if you're not, then it's on YouTube. Lit stream starts on Thursday at 8:00 p.m. Eastern time, 7:00 Central. And you can find me on a bunch of other channels and stuff going on, whatever. But from a social media perspective, just hit me at Tarek Peterson, TarikPeterson, Tarek Peterson on Blue Sky and or Twitter.
He be digitally outside. And speaking of our lit stream, Saul, Silves, and Marge is going to be on. I'm super excited. Some Shea Butter, Gotham FC stand up, some Unnaturally Man City. Yeah, that'd be great. Let's go. I wonder if Man City has poked around Gotham at all when it comes about to their. I have to put that in the docket to ask March in the Lit stream. Follow us, anything Shades of Blue at Shades of Blue NW if there's an app. And we are on it at Shades of Blue NW. And you know the vibes. Shady gang. Shady gang. Shady gang.